Well, hello there. This is Skip McCoy. Welcome to RiverSoft University. This segment is about managing claims. We're going to use this feature right here called Edit, Print, and Transmit. I'm going to be using the UB04 flavor of this feature, but these are both identical other than the type of form they print or the type of 837 file they create. A claim is created when an original invoice is created for a payer that requires either a UB04 or CMS 1500 claim. Claims are not automatically created when an invoice is adjusted because most invoice adjustments are done to clean up accounts receivable, not to fix a billing issue. However, a claim can be created for an adjusted invoice by selecting the new version of the invoice on the invoice screen and selecting the Edit Claim button. This date range is used to select your claims. Normally it selects the claims by creation date, but alternatively you can use invoice date or the latest transmission date of the claim. The show owed options are show all regardless of owed amount, show only claims with an amount owed, and show only claims that owe the full amount. And the owed column is right here, and you'll see that in just a second. The show not transmitted only is a suppresses claims that have been transmitted, and the hide $0 invoices suppresses claims for $0 outstanding amounts. So I'm going to choose an office, click the Build button, and here is a list of claims. There's that owed column I was talking to you about. All the column headers allow you to sort. And if I wanted to find a claim very quickly, I could just type in the claim number. This is the invoice number. And click Build. I get that one. That's a real handy feature when you're doing research and you just got one claim in front of you. Okay, claims on this list can be multi-selected by control clicking. So control click, 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 click. Or they can a bulk group can be selected using the shift click. So click on one, hold the shift key down, click on another. If multiple claims are selected, the edit button is disabled. See, the edit button is gone because there's no way to display multiple claims for one editor screen. Claims that have the same payer, ECS style, NPI, submitter ID, payer ID, and receiver ID can be put into the same 837 file. So I'm going to order by ECS style and multi-select. And if I select this group, select this group right here, I can create an 837 file. But as soon as I select across the groups, I can't create an 837 file. Even if the claims are in different offices, as long as those things are the same, you can put them in one 837 file. The claim number contains the office number so that when the 835 payment file is processed, the cash will be applied to the correct invoice in the correct office. Claims can fail transmission for many reasons. If they fail, the last exmit column is going to show red, and if you hover over that, it's going to give you the error. If you edit the claim, that error is written in this box at the very top of the claim. Fixing the problem requires fixing the payer's or patient's information so that future claims will not have the same problem, and then recreating and transmitting the failed claim. Editing the claim may also fix the problem, but in most cases the claim created for the same client next week will suffer the same error until the bad data is fixed at its source. So we always recommend you go back to the source, fix the problem, and then recreate the claim using the Recreate button on the edit screen, this one right here. Then when you get a good claim, you can rest assured that the source of the problem has been fixed and next week's claim is going to be fine. If a claim has a warning, it's going to have a yellow box in the last column. Let's see if we can find one of those. I'm going to go back a little bit further. Build. There's one. That's yellow. And this is the fifth HIPS character, is a character indicating supplies, but the claim had no supplies. And again, if I go edit that warning will be written up in the memo field at the top of the claim. And finally, if it's actually transmitted, the file it was transmitted to will be written there. And if you go edit the claim, it'll tell you which file it was in. If you have to retransmit a whole batch, you can order by that column and retransmit the whole batch. You order by the column, remember, by just clicking on the column header. The deadline column shows the number of days before the payer will no longer pay the claim. It defaults to 365 days. If the payer has no overriding payer switches, this will be 365 days from the date of the earliest service date, or if the claim has been denied, 365 days from the date of the denial. If you have entered overriding payer switches for the payer, you can override those defaults by using these payer switches right here: submission deadline days and resubmit deadline days, and then follow the colon with the number of days, which is the proper amount for this payer. Okay, when a claim is initially created and printed, it will show with a watermark draft mark. Then this is done to allow your agency to systematically review claims prior to submitting them to the payer. Once reviewed, by selecting the Finalize option right here and creating a PDF of a claim, the claim is finalized and the draft watermark will no longer show. If a UB04 is mistakenly created for a payer that needs a CMS 1500, use the Change to CMS 1500 to create the claim you need. And finally, when you're printing claims on red blank forms, printer alignment will vary from printer to printer. It is important to set your printer driver so that no scaling is done. Any options chosen, like Fit to Page, will shrink or enlarge the image, and it will not line up with the form. Once you have turned off all scaling features on your printer driver, if the alignment is still off, it is probably because of how the paper feeds into your printer. There are nudge fields right here so that you can move the image up and right in 1/72 inch increments. To move down or left, use negative numbers. So to move up, put a positive number in here. To move right, put a positive number here. To move down, put a negative number. To move left, put a negative number in here. And again, each one of these counts as 1/72 of an inch. Okay, that's editing, printing, and transmitting claims in RiverSoft Office. I use the UB04 feature. The CMS 1500 feature works exactly the same way. This has been RiverSoft University. This is Skip McCoy signing out for RiverSoft.